All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Dan Kim, and I'm the Director of Partnerships here at Percy. And along with the leadership team at Coldwell Banker Reliable Real Estate, we are excited to roll out a new tool for you to help generate seller leads. Now, just a couple of housekeeping items to go over before we get started. We are currently going through a rebrand phase, so you may see some dual branding. We were formerly known as Buyside, but we have rebranded to Percy recently. So again, you may see two types of brands here, but rest assured they are one and the same company. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And then a couple of housekeeping items that I'd like to go over and some resources to share with you before we get started, in case you do have any questions after this webinar and as you guys start to familiarize yourself with the home valuation site tool. The first one's going to be our Buyside Insiders group, which is a private Facebook group that you can find at buysideinsiders.com. And this is going to be a group that consists of current members where you can go to ask questions and get answers, and also find out how other people have utilized Percy in the past and have found success. The second resource that we have is going to be our help desk, where you can find it at support.getbyside.com. And this is actually a resource that I'll be utilizing here a little bit towards the end of this webinar, but it acts very similarly to a Google search engine where you can type in a question related to Percy, and it'll populate the most relevant answers in PDF, article, or webinar form. And then last but not least, we have our world-class support team where you can email support@getbyside.com. And what that'll do is it'll open up a ticket where you can chat with a live agent who will help you troubleshoot or answer any question that you may have regarding this program. Now, for today's agenda, we're going to be going over your home valuation site and the consumer's experience. And not only that, it's going to be a great tool for you to utilize when you inevitably get that question from the consumers or the homeowners of, hey, how's the market? Because consumers are expecting a one or two word answer. It's either good or it's bad. But you as the professionals know that it really depends on what they're doing. Are they buying? Are they selling? Are they looking, or what areas are they looking to buy or sell in? Because those questions are really the deciding factor of what the market's really doing. Secondly, we'll be going over the marketing tools that are available to you that are integrated within the system. Next, we'll be going over the leads that you get and what the leads look like when you do start to get these leads in, and which kind of leads integrate with your current Moxie platform. And then finally, we'll be going over how this program integrates with your Moxie Present tool as well. So when you are going to the listing presentation, how you can start to utilize different parts of this home valuation site report into your Moxie Present presentation. Now, the first things first, how do you log into your home valuation site and how do you get to your dashboard? So you're going to want to go to your Moxie website here, and up on that top toolbar in between promote and directory, you're going to want to go ahead and click on Buyside. What this will do is this will single sign on you into your dashboard. You don't have to have any credentials or anything like that saved in anywhere. It'll take you directly to your dashboard once you go ahead and click on Buyside. Now, once you go ahead and click on Buyside, it'll take you to a page that looks like this here. Now, the first thing that you're going to see is going to be your home valuation site, a preview my site box here, and then you're going to have the three different types of marketing tools that we'll go over here in just a minute. But since this will be a majority, for a majority of you, since this will be your first time logging in, or if it's been a little while since you've logged in, you're going to want to go ahead and click on preview my site. Now, what that's going to take you to is going to be your personally branded home valuation site. And you'll see at the top left-hand corner here, this is going to be your unique URL, and you can go ahead and save this if you'd like. You can bookmark this page if you'd like as well. But this will, again, be branded to you. As you can see here, it'll have your picture as well as your name and your phone number. So in case the homeowner has any questions or wants to reach out to you, they'll have the ability to with all this information. It'll also have a space for them to enter their address here. Now, if they scroll down here before they enter their address, they'll have the opportunity to get a preview of what the results will include. So it'll give a very easy 1, 2, 3-step breakdown, home value estimates, a buyer breakdown, and some recent nearby sales. And all that's left for them to do here is to type in their address. So I'm going to go ahead and start typing in an address. And as you can see, with a few simple keystrokes, I don't even have to finish typing in the address. It'll actually auto-populate the most relevant addresses for me. So all that's left for me to do is click on that matching address, and this is going to generate what we call a market report page for the address that was just entered in. Now, this is going to show them a couple of things right off the bat. It's going to be the market report for the address that was typed in, bed, bath, and square footage count that we pull in from public records. Again, this is going to be continued to be branded to you, so it'll have your name as well as your phone number here. So in case they do have any questions, they can reach out to you directly, or they'll have multiple opportunities to reach out to you throughout this page as well. Now, this is going to have a couple of call to actions right off the bat here. And the first and easiest way call to action here is going to be to fill in their first and last name and their email address to receive monthly updates on this property. Now, this is a great way for you to keep in touch with them on a monthly cadence. Maybe they're not really ready to pull the trigger yet on listing their home, or even as a buyer, for instance, they can start to get some more information this way as well. But they have the opportunity to fill out their information here to receive monthly updates. Now, when you do get asked that question of, hey, how's the market? And they're not really ready to pull the trigger, you as the agent can actually fill in this information for them, saying, hey, you know what? Let's look up your address. Let's see what the market's really doing in your area. And you can sign them up on their behalf, saying, hey, you know what? There's no obligation. This is just a subscription. There's no fee or anything like that. And you can unsubscribe at any time. But let me sign you up for a monthly report with your email or with your address. And so that you can kind of keep a pulse on the market. So when the time is right, we can have that discussion down the line. And again, there's no, after they sign up, there's no action that's needed on your part as the agent. They'll receive this automatically every single month. But again, it'll be continued to be branded to you. Now, they have an I am the owner button here that they can utilize. And if they click on that, it's going to ask that they verify their ownership in one of these three methods here. And the neat thing about this is that if they do claim that they're the owner, this will automatically sign them up for a monthly subscription report. So they don't have to go through both steps. Now, once they verify that they are the owner, they can make changes to the property. So there will be multiple opportunities for them to do so here just to verify some of their property details. But again, if they are going to be changing any aspect of the home, we ask that they verify that they're the owner rather than them making changes to their neighbor's house or their friend's house, for an example. So here you can also see that it's a 5-bed, 3-bath home with 1,400 square feet. And again, if let's say, for instance, in the last couple of years, a lot of people were looking to put in some sweat equity. Maybe they added a half bath in here, or they want to verify that their square footage is actually 1,490 square feet. They have the opportunity to change that here by clicking on this pencil icon. But again, if they're changing any aspects of the home, we ask that they verify that they are the owner. Now, down below that, it's going to be the estimated home values. And we give them 3, and we always like to include Zillow as one of them. And we like to do that because we know that consumers out there like to treat Zillow as gospel. They say, my home is worth 1.37 million because Zillow says so. But we all know, and we like to show them that, yes, while Zillow is one of the computer-generated models out there, there are a lot of other computer-generated models out there as well. And they're automated valuation models that have not walked their home. And we like to show them this, and it's going to show them not only the averages here, but it'll also show them the ranges. So they're going to be able to see, hey, why is my home potentially worth from 1.1 all the way to 1.44? What's really going on, and why is there such a big variance? And if they see that there is a huge variation in those values, they'll have the opportunity to contact you as the agent by clicking on this Contact Joe, and we'll actually have your name branded here. And all they'll have to do is fill out this form capture here, and you'll be notified once they do. And you can go ahead and contact them saying, hey, I know that you wanted to talk about your home's value. Let's get that conversation opened up. Now, down below that, we have what is the condition of the property? Now, if you ask anyone what the condition of the property is, they all like to say, or 95% of them like to say, my home's in good condition or it's in excellent condition. So we actually put it on needs work to tug at their heartstrings just a little bit. Because just like before, if they're going to be changing any aspect of their home, we just ask that they verify that they're the owner here. Now, down below that, we have what is potentially my favorite part of this report here, and it's going to be the buyer heat map. Now, this is going to be very similar to a weather map. So the darker the color, the more active the area is, the lighter the color, the less active the area is. And this isn't really for a homeowner to roll the dice and say, hey, I hope I land in an active area. This is a visual representation for them to see what their area is really like as far as buyer activity is concerned. Now, you as the agent can start to explain how this buyer heat map works of, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I know that you're seeing headlines where people are getting $50,000 over asking, and or $100,000 over asking, and people are being outbid left and right. But as you can see here, while your home is while your home is in an active area, it's not as active as some of these surrounding areas as well. So it's important that when you are looking to sell, that we do talk about strategic pricing, so that we're not sitting on the market for 8 months in a seller's market. We want to make sure that we can close quickly, so you can get that equity that you have and put that into your dream home to follow. And you can also talk about how, as buyers are starting to get priced out more and more, maybe they're starting to get discouraged, they're going to start to look at some of these surrounding areas. And so you're going to start to want to price that strategically as well. Now we break down what the buyers are looking for by price range as well as by bedroom here. So again, it's more of a visual representation for the homeowner to look at. And then down below that, we have the buyer activity funnel. So the buyer activity being defined as any activity or the buyer behavior that the buyers are doing right now. So save searches, save properties, open house sign-ins, and things of that nature. And we like to start that off at the statewide level. We'll drill down within to the online activities within a 5-mile radius of the home that was searched for. Then after that, online activities within a 5-mile radius and within the home's price range. And then finally, the number of online activities within a 5-mile radius within the home's price range, and looking for the same criteria that the homeowner searched for as well. So that when they search for their home, they're going to see that there are this many online activities looking for a home within a 5-mile radius and within the home's price range, as well as looking for a 5-bedroom. Now, down below that, we give some supply side trends in the last 4 quarters in the zip code that was searched for, including the median sold price, as well as the number of homes sold in the current quarter in the zip code that was searched for. And then finally, down below, we have some recent nearby sales where we'll show them the last 18 months worth of data in a 1.5-mile radius. And we like to do this because they actually might be familiar with some of these homes that were sold in the past. So, oh, I didn't know that the homeowner at 362 just sold for 1.2 just back in July. Or, oh, I knew Mr. Smith. He was at 442, and I didn't know that he sold for 1.1 in August. Now, it is important to know that these are not comps. Down below here, we actually have that verbiage down here. If they do want comps, they're going to want to contact you as the agent. So they can, just very similarly to before, they can go ahead and contact you by filling out this simple form capture here. And you'll be notified once they do. And then finally, they do have one more opportunity to receive monthly updates on this property by filling out their first, last name, and their email address as well. Okay, so that's going to be what the consumer sees, as well as how you can utilize this page to really talk about how the market is doing when you get asked that question. But how do you get this into the hands of the consumer? So now we have 3 different ways to get this to the consumer. And the first and easiest way is going to be through the email signature. So if you click on this @ symbol here and you go down, we give you 2 different ways to do this, and to really embed this into your email signature. And the first and easiest way is to go ahead and copy and paste this directly into your email signature. Now, we always like to say that every email that you send is a potential lead, and rather than having to spam this out via email, you can always email the consumer, or whoever you're emailing rather, about whatever topic that you're looking to talk about. And at the very end in your signature, we'll always have this embedded in there. So all the consumer has to do, or the end user has to do, is click on this link and it'll take them directly to your home valuation site branded page. But if you're looking at that and saying, hey, Dan, I like that implementation, but I'm looking at this and reading it, and I'm not really liking that call to action. I have my own way that I like to speak to things. How do I change that and make it more custom? So I'm going to utilize this example with my Gmail account here. And this functionality here is identical to other email providers out there. So things like Outlook, Yahoo. I'm in my settings tab, and under my general, I'm about 2/3 of the way down. And I can go ahead and create my custom call to action in my signature, or in my email signature. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and put in the real estate market is only going up. What do you think you can sell? Now, once I have my call to action there completed, I'm going to go ahead and highlight this text and click on this hyperlink button. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to ask me what URL should this link go to. And as you can see here, it mirrored the display, or I'm sorry, mirrored the text that I just wrote in. And the next thing that it's asking me is to enter in my URL. Now, if I go back to my marketing suite here, I can go ahead and click on this copy link button. Now this is going to copy my hyperlink, copy my URL to my clipboard. And all that's left for me to do is to paste it into this field here. And as you can see, it's going to be the URL for my personalized branded home valuation page. Now, all I have to do is click OK. Now, every single email that I send after I save this will have this call to action with my URL hyperlinked to that call to action as well. Now, the second tool that we give you is going to be through to market your home valuation site through social media. Now, if you click on this chat bubble icon here, we give you 3 different methods here, so through Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. And I can go ahead and market this page out through social media by simple clicking on whichever platform I want to market this on. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on LinkedIn. And this is going to go ahead and sign me directly into my LinkedIn account. And I can go ahead and share this in a post or send this as a private message as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share this in a post. And the functionality of this is identical to most social media platforms out there. So things like Facebook as well. And all that's left for me to do is type in a call to action. And again, I'm going to use the same one that I just did before. So the real estate market is only going up. What do you think you can sell your home for? Now, when the consumer or any of your connections do see this, again, all they have to do is click on this image and it'll take them directly to your home valuation site branded page. And what you can do is you can really start to target specific groups here. So what I mean by that is I can go ahead and when I do post this, this is going to post this to anyone here. But if I click on that, I can start to target specific groups. So if I post this to anyone on or off LinkedIn will be able to see this. So maybe someone is not on LinkedIn, but they type in to their Google search engine, hey, what's my home worth? Or they type in something that's similar to what your call to action was. They'll be able to see that and as a result. You can also post this to Twitter. So if you're doing a lot of marketing via Twitter, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you click on connections only the connections on your LinkedIn account will be able to see this. Or if you are part of different group members, so maybe if you're a part of a sports league, I'm a part of a new dad group. I have an 11-month-old at home, so I'm a part of a growing family group here as well. You can really start to target specific calls to action with your home valuation site. So if you know that Mr. Smith down the street is expecting a second child and they're going to need to upsize their home, but they're going to need to sell their current home, you can really start to target those call to actions that way. Hey, are you looking to sell your home to get into that dream home as you're building a family? You can really start to utilize it that way as well. But it is also important to note that there have been studies done in the past as far as social media is concerned, that when you do post anything online to your social media accounts, that only about 7% of your targeted audience ever sees that post in itself. So it is important that you do post regularly to cast the widest net to capture the most amount of exposure, rather than doing a hardcore campaign for a week and then just dropping off. It is important, again, to have a regularly scheduled cadence as far as when you are posting your home valuation site with different calls to actions and really kind of switching it up so that you are capturing the widest audience possible. Now, the third way that we give you as far as your marketing suite is concerned is going to be through the use of your widget. So in addition to this home valuation site here, if you have a personal site, maybe you have a personal site aside from the brokerage website that you really like to capture, that you have captured a lot of leads with, we do give you the HTML coding here to implement this search widget here onto that website. So they can actually type in their address directly from that widget, so that they don't have to go directly to your home valuation site page to type in their address again. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I'm not exactly savvy when it comes to HTML coding. This is something that I would give to my marketing team or a friend of mine to help me do this on my personal website. But if it's for Wix pages, we do have this script as well. But again, this is something that I would outsource in this case. Now, the fourth way that that is effective as far as marketing is concerned, and while it's not integrated within this platform just right here, is going to be through the use of QR codes. Now, again, it's not integrated here, but we do have a QR code generator through our Help Resource Center, the one that I mentioned earlier on in this webinar. But if you go ahead and hover over the right-hand, over your name here, and you click on Help, what this is going to do is it's going to direct you straight to our help desk. So just like I mentioned before, very similar to a search engine where you can type in any question related to Percy and it'll populate the most relevant answers. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just click or type in QR code. And it'll be it'll direct you to a page on how to create a QR code for your home valuation site. A very easy 1, 2, 3 step process, as well as a couple of resources that we have to create them as well, to generate them. And I'm going to go ahead and generate one and show you how easy it really is. This is going to be from free all the way to paid. Personally, I like to use QR Code Monkey because this is a free generator and it's very, very easy to use. And I'll go through how to create one using this site here. And you can create as many as you'd like here through QR Code Monkey. I'm not sure if you guys already have one that's already integrated with your system there. But the first thing that this is going to ask you is going to ask you your URL. Now, if you remember from before, in your home valuation site marketing page, all I have to do is click on this @ symbol and click on copy link because that's where my URL lives. But if you already have it saved or bookmarked somewhere, you can totally use that as well. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that into this field here. Now, this is going to give me 3 different types of customizations. I can set the different colors up if you want this to be different than black and white. If you know the hex colors, I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank, or default it to black and white. But if you have a different hex color, you can go ahead and utilize that as well. You can also add in a logo image. So if you like a tagline or if you want to upload your headshot to there, you can go ahead and do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and upload my headshot there. And finally, you can also customize the design of your QR code to differentiate your QR code versus all the other ones that are out there. I'm going to go ahead and click 3 at random here and just see what this does. And once you've made your elections, you can go ahead and click on create QR code here. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to generate a QR code based on all those customizations that I just made. Now, as you can see here, it's all the customizations that I elected here, as well as my headshot here. And now all that's left to do is I can go ahead and download this into a PNG file to save on your computer. And you can put this on the back of your business card. You can put this on your mailers or your postcards that you're sending out to addresses in the areas that you're farming. You can put them on the door knockers as well. And you can really utilize this in any way, shape, or form. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave this up for about 15 seconds or so. So if you have your phone available, I highly recommend that you take out your phone, put it on the camera setting, and hover over this QR code image, and you'll see how easy this really is. What this will do is it'll actually direct you straight to my home valuation site. So this is a great way if you're at a marketing event or a networking event and you get people asking you, hey, what's the market doing? What's the market like? I've heard all these crazy stories online and on the news about what the market's been doing. What is it really doing right now? This is a great way for you to say, hey, you know what? Here's my business card. Let's check your home right now. Let's see what's going on. That way, there's a kind of a sneaky way to get that lead right then and there too. But this is a great way where you can really start to generate as many QR codes as you want for as many websites as you want, and you can keep downloading them onto your computer as well. Okay, so those are going to be the most effective ways as far as marketing is concerned. Now, once you start marketing this, where do the leads go and how do you get notified of these leads? So if you're on this page here, what you're going to want to do is click on My Leads. And this will be a list of all the leads that you've gotten. Now you're going to see 2 different types of leads where where the consumer has not left any information, maybe they just ran their address, they saw all the results and they clicked out of it. Or the second type of lead that you'll get is going to be where they do leave some information, and you'll be able to differentiate between the 2 very easily. Now, as you can see here, you can start to filter out. Once this list starts getting really, really long, you'll be able to filter out the leads by address, email, name, email, or owner, or what I like to utilize a lot, the easiest way is to filter by date range. So you can really start to filter out when you've gotten these leads by date range. And after you click on filter, it'll filter all of them out that way. You can download all these results. You can download these valuation attempts, or you can download these into Avery labels as well. So if you're starting to do a marketing campaign for postcards, you can download those Avery labels to start to turn them into those postcards as well without having to manually type in all the addresses as well. But if you look down here, the first type of lead that you'll get is going to be where the homeowner does not leave any information behind. They just search their address and they look at the information. So you'll still be notified via email, so you don't have to keep coming back here saying, hey, are there any new leads today? When a homeowner does enter their address in and searches and gets the market report, you as the agent will be notified via email, hey, someone just searched the valuation on their home. It might be worth checking into. In that case, you'll see this kind of lead here, this first one at the top, where they'll have no name provided. It'll have a timestamp of when this lead was done. But sometimes we are able to also pull in owner information from their public record. So you might have some sort of starting point as to who to address. Now, it really depends on where you're doing the majority of your marketing. Let's say, for instance, you're doing a big marketing campaign in your own neighborhood. You actually might know the owner of this address, and you'll already be able to verify with that, with what's been given on public records as well. However, if you don't know the owner, we do give you some sort of starting point. But again, take this with a grain of salt as we are pulling this in from public records. This may or may not show up here. But then the most important part, we do have the address here, as well as the timestamp that was written, that the address was searched for as well. Now, if the owner had taken any action or filled out any call to action, this will be listed here as well. In this case, they did not leave any information behind, but you will also see the valuations on their page. So when you are doing their marketing, saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I know that I saw that you recently checked the valuation of your home on my website, and I know that you saw these potential values here. I'd love to talk to you more about that, and you can really start to open up the dialogue that way. Now, the second lead that you'll be getting is going to be when a consumer does leave any information behind. So you'll be able to, when they do, you'll get a notification again via email saying that an owner subscribed to a monthly report, or they claim their home, or they want to chat with an agent regarding their market report page. And with that information, they will have this name and email verification here show up. You'll also be able to cross-reference that with the owner's name if it's available here through public records. But again, if they are leaving their information, this is going to be very valuable information there. Again, just like before, it will have the address that was searched for as well as the timestamp. And then finally, if they have left any information, these will be highlighted in gold. So in this case, they sign up for a monthly report with the timestamp as well. You also have the ability to unsubscribe them from these in case they do want to unsubscribe them themselves off the report. But if they did claim their home, this will be highlighted in yellow. And then if they also filled out that inquiry form or that form capture, this will also be highlighted in yellow as well. And each time one of these actions are taken, you will be receiving an email to notify you that this happened on top of all this. And then just like before, you'll be able to see the 3 different valuations that they saw when they did search for their home as well. And then let's say, for instance, you've been calling on this owner, they're kind of hemming and hawing, they're on the fence, they keep kicking the can down the road. And let's say, for instance, this has been happening for about 6 or 7 months, and you want to start focusing on the leads that are a little bit warmer. You can always archive this if you want to kind of move on to the other leads. And once you archive this, you can find that in your archive valuations section here on the top right-hand corner. It'll never truly delete from your database here, but if you go back to your archive valuations, you can always kind of dig up old leads once you want to start that campaign over and over and over again. Now, one thing to note here as far as the leads and the integration with your Moxie platform and your Moxie CRM is that when a consumer leaves any information behind, so again, they sign up for a monthly report, they fill out an inquiry form, or they claim their home, that information that they leave will be pushed automatically into your Moxie CRM. So you don't have to input the leads manually or anything like that. It'll automatically be pushed into your Moxie CRM that way. Now, it is important to note that when there are valuations where the homeowner does not leave any information, you'll simply get the email saying, hey, someone checked the valuation of their home. However, when they don't leave any information, we will not be pushing that into your Moxie CRM as well. So we want to make sure that we're only filling up that Moxie CRM with valuable information. So you'll still have access to this information here on this dashboard. You'll still be notified via email if someone just runs an evaluation report on an address. However, if they do not leave any information behind, this will not be pushed into your Moxie CRM platform. Okay, so one extra thing that I'd like to touch base on as far as the integration is concerned is through the use of your Moxie Present integration as well. So when you're going to that listing presentation, and you're utilizing Moxie Present, you do have the opportunity to integrate some of the home valuation site market report pieces into the presentation. Now, if you go to your Moxie dashboard, your Moxie dashboard here, and you click on Present, down below here, it'll say Partner Pages. So if you click on Partner Pages and you click on Buy Side, it'll give you the opportunity to integrate, again, pieces of the home valuation site market report into your presentation. So you'll be able to really bridge the gap between not only the comps, so past historical sales, but you'll also be able to bridge the gap saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I know that the other agents that you're potentially interviewing for to list your home has all these comps too, but what I have is the buyer heat map, which gives you what the buyer activity is in real time, what the buyers are looking for. So we break that down by price as well as by bedroom, and also that buyer funnel. So there's this many activities going on that are searching for a home just like yours. So you can really utilize both simultaneously by integrating some of the buy side, or Percy in this rather, the Percy aspects of that home valuation page into your Moxie Present listing presentation as well. And then if they want some more information, you can really go back and hone in on, hey, these are the 3 valuations that you're seeing and on the market report page. And this is why you want to list with me. These are computer generated models. I know what's going on. I'm standing in your home and I can see that you upgraded your countertops to marble, or I can see that you added a half bath on there as well. So you can really start to utilize both the Moxie Moxie presentation tool as well as the Percy tools as well in conjunction with this within the listing presentation. Okay, so I went over quite a bit in the last half hour. So we went over the home valuation site market report page and what the consumer sees, and also how you can speak to this as well, and how you can answer the question when you inevitably get asked, hey, how's the market? We also went over the marketing tools and tips that you have that are integrated within the Percy back dashboard, what the leads look like and which leads will integrate with your Moxie tools as well. And then finally, how Percy does integrate with your Moxie Present integration as well. And what I'd love to do at this time is I'd love to open this up to Q&A if you have any questions. And I can start to chat about them in live time, or if you want to throw them in the chat as we are doing this now, I can go ahead and answer those questions at this time as well. But again, just to kind of hone back into the 3 resources that you have, in case you do have any questions after this, we have our Buy Side Insiders, which is Buy Side Insiders group, which is a private Facebook group at buysideinsiders.com. We have our support desk, which I touch base on very quickly, where you can find that at support.getbuyside.com, where you can type in a question related to Percy and it'll populate the most relevant answers. Or we also do have our world-class support team, which is really the easiest way, where you can email support@getbuyside.com, and it'll open up a chat window between you as well as our world-class support team, and they'll help you with any troubleshooting that you may be facing. So again, thank you for joining me today, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time. Thank you very much.